Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome to beautiful Bali, Ubud. Welcome to our my morning chat here. It's mid-morning now in Bali. We're really in the heart of Ubud, which surrounding us are the most gorgeous, lush, green nature, rainforest, coconuts, all sorts of fruits, and it's just beautiful. The flowers and the plants. It's been a blessing as I'm working on the flower Bible. It's incredible. It's the perfect opportunity to connect. It was very peaceful before I started. Very peaceful. Yeah. And there wasn't a sound for 45 minutes. Not a sound apart from the music. And then the guy's moving all the chairs for no reason. There is a reason, but he doesn't know the reason. Yeah. There was literally no need. I'm just looking at the chairs. There was absolutely no need to move them chairs at all. Oh, it's great, isn't it? The confirmation that you get, and it makes you smile. Let's see what comes up. Hopefully nothing. Welcome everybody. We're going to do a deep dive today. If you're watching this on replay, welcome. I'm sorry you're not here on the live, but hey, you're here now. So today's phenomena, it's an effect. It surely is an effect. It's something that I recognized a long time ago within my clients, predominantly with those that brought people to me, and it's fascinating, and I often referred to it in the past as sleepwalking. So I call these people, and you probably 100% know what I'm talking about when I start to deep dive into this. It'll all probably make sense to you. So let's start with sleepwalking. What little I know of sleepwalking, my daughter used to sleepwalk. I sleptwalked, apparently. There's a photo on the internet of me on a little tiny toy bus, wearing a onesie and looking at the camera. And apparently I used to sleepwalk. I managed to go downstairs. I don't know what, I'd have to ask my sister again, but apparently they must have opened the door for me. I must have taken my little bus outside and started going up and down. Back then, there was a belief system, and to a degree I believe this is still very true. I'm sure somebody felt that you shouldn't really wake somebody up from sleepwalking, and that is literally the conversation we're having today. So let them go through me. They let me go up and down the path a few times. Somebody ran out, grabbed a camera, my dad probably, because they were fascinated, and back to bed I went. Not a clue, apparently, so I was only small anyway. There was many a times that my daughter sleptwalked. In Spain was one, which was a fantastic one. She went to the toilet in the wrong place, and it was we were laughing, and so was she, but she wasn't there. And the next morning she had no clue to what she'd done. So now that I've said that, you might know somebody who sleptwalked, you might have experienced this with them. There is a very similar spiritual sleepwalk that's happening that is a little bit more subtle, but not to those who are aware of it. A bit like somebody's sleepwalking. They don't know they're sleepwalking, but you're awake and you can see clearly that they're sleepwalking. This is happening around us everywhere, and none more so than these past 4 years. These past 4 years we've been pulling our hair out. As you can see, I've got none hardly, and trying to literally sit down and understand, figure out what the hell is happening. Why is it that I can see and nobody else can? So let me try and explain something to you. There is a spiritual kind of cut. I kind of use the analogy, which is the nearest one. Two beautiful hands. One is the spiritual hand and one is the physical. So that's your body and that's your spiritual consciousness. They come together like this when you leave nature. Just like a flower, just like all flowers, they open up and they go together like a glove. And whenever they need to come together or go to sleep or awaken, they're always there and they always are used in its moment. Breathing in, breathing out. Always. And this is our consciousness with our body. So when you look at certain people and you try and understand what's going on, you ask yourself, do sleepwalkers, in the spiritual sense, have the ability to wake up fully? As in the same as sleepwalking? That's something you've got to ask yourself. So if you look at the analogy of sleepwalking, the answer would be yes, it would. It would be possible, and we'll go through that in a bit. But isn't there something else with sleepwalking which is very similar to the sleepwalkers who are around us every day, during the day, and literally spiritually sleepwalking? There are certain things that you can see, and one of them is a kind of stare or a glaze, a bit like when you're sleepwalking. It's a different, you're looking at somebody different. That's not who they are. You're looking at somebody different. So the stare in the eyes isn't coming from the soul. It's a stare, it's a blank stare. That's one thing, and I've seen it. And that stare is coupled with, when you speak truth, it's given, but it's not received at all. It's almost like there's a cut between truth being given and, reality being given. This is what's happening, and almost like invisible something that can't get, I can't get to there. I can't bring it together. And it's like, did this person just hear me? Have you done that? Have you tried that yet? You spoke to somebody about truth and it's like, did they just hear me? Have they just ignored what I've said? No, they haven't ignored what you've said. It just does not compute. It does not enter into the consciousness. It does not go into their energy at all. It just doesn't at all. So you're confused by what's going on. So now I'm talking to you. Now you're understanding why I'm talking about sleepwalkers, spiritual sleepwalkers. So you might feel upset. You might feel offended. You might feel as if you've upset them or made them, you've got some guilt now because, I shouldn't have said that. But actually, if you talked about what's on telly tonight and who won X Factor, they'd go back into, they'd then start to become alive again. They'd start talking again and like, so Dribble would be their frequency. Nonsense, nothing worthy of anything. It's just fill in the blanks, the space, till I keel over and die. It's almost like it's, what's the point? To us, we're like, what's the point? And when you realize they're sleepwalking, now you can feel a little bit better and not feel as guilty or as bad, because it isn't something you did or something they realize they are doing. That is the truth. Okay? So let's just discuss this. How do you wake a sleepwalker? Well, very similar to the analogy of sleepwalking, if you were to wake them up, that can cause trauma. It can cause trauma. How do you wake them up? Shake them, shout really loud, bang, a big bang to wake them up. All of these things come with trauma. So when you step back and look at the spiritual sleepwalkers, when do they actually wake up? They wake up when something hits them like a ton of bricks, when somebody, injects them and makes them sick, and all of a sudden they've got cancer now, or somebody's come into their house and arrested them, or, stealing the bank account, or, just give them a massive wake up, bit like getting two of those electric things for your heart and stick them on your heart, and then doof, and then you something connects again. You bring back the consciousness again to that person that didn't have that consciousness. It's been separated. Is this making sense to you guys or not? I'm trying to make life a little bit easier for you when you're trying to understand what the hell's going on. This is a subtle part of human nature. It's not everywhere, because I'm not talking about the monsters who are creating what they're creating to cause this effect on sleepwalkers, because sleepwalkers become sleepwalkers not because they wanted to. It's not their fault. We know this, but we get angry because, hang on, I'm not a sleepwalker, why aren't you? Well, that's like saying, lining 100 people up and making an illusionist come over and hypnotize all of them. He's not going to be able to do it. And he quickly sits down the ones that he knows he can't hypnotize. So there's something inherent in us who are awake to bullshit. We smell it a mile off. You can't fool me, pal. I know exactly what you're planning. I know what this is all about. This is like, take this. It's safe and effective. Go on your bike, and we can feel it straight away. Whereas, oh yeah, give it me. Oh, everybody take it. What's wrong with everybody? Take it. And so, what is that? How did it happen? Are they from a different place than us? Is it possible that they come from a different conscious part of the universe? Very much so. I believe there's something very much in that. Very much in that. So, the point being of all of this is it possible to help awaken these people? And over the years, I've found it very, very difficult to help awaken people through pure energy healing. It's very challenging to do that. But there were times that some did awaken. And I can tell you, it's not just the energy healing, but it's also, I guess when I think about it, it's like there's a combination in trying to help people, and you have to do it in a natural way. So one of the hijacks to people who are sleepwalkers is take away their medicine, because the medicine that is fed to you in your body basically gives electric energy gives life to all parts of the body. So if the body is electrified, then the consciousness fits together like a glove and it's in balance. So the first thing is you've got to bring back real food. And to be fair, the only answer to all of this is not man-made, never has been, never will be. Anything man-made is basically, in my opinion, a waste of energy, never works. You always go back to nature. Everything that we have and need is grown and given to us by Mother Nature. So real food is part of the awakening of sleepwalkers. You have to bring back real food. You have to clear man-made poisons. So that's the poisons that they're given by a man in a white suit, poisons that people, smile in your face and say, go on, have another beer, go on, have another wine, go on, have another spirit, go on. No, we don't want that. That's not natural to me. I don't want that. I'm okay, thank you very much. So you have to bring back nature into that person, and then all their senses start to come back. The hijacking of your senses is an end result of a sleepwalker. Time in Mother Nature. Most sleepwalkers do not have time to go into Mother Nature. And even when they are in Mother Nature, the problem with that is they're thinking ahead of themselves, so they're not even actually in Mother Nature, because it's hard for them to connect, because they're disconnected. Therefore, if in Mother Nature we need to spend moments where we clear our mind and we're not thinking of anything, thus we clear the mind, it runs out, Mother Nature sucks that crap out, and then we are open to receiving. So what does all this mean? It means that when a person is willing to start to eat real food, fruit and vegetables, and healthy living, they start to change their frequency and energy around them, due to the fact that the physical body is now repairing itself. Your body can't heal itself fully unless it's receiving what it was meant to receive from the day you were born. That is everything that Mother Nature gives you, which she grows. So when you start to replenish your body with everything natural, and you stay away from all the unnatural poisons that hijack the body, you start to vibrate at a different frequency. So when you are in Mother Nature and you're vibrating in a frequency, guess what happens? The ultimate beautiful thing that happens is you become connected to a frequency or a vibration that then gives you downloads or information. You can call it what you want. I have my understanding, and I've been through this many times, that I believe our home world can then come into our energy aura field, chi prana, and then give us a certain frequency of what I believe helps us become aware and awake of everything. So our energy changes, our frequency changes, vibration changes. Every molecule vibrates at a different frequency. So that's kind of my understanding, what little I know of sleepwalkers, and that's my interpretation of why so many people can't wake up and they're not awake. It's like, is anybody in there? Hello? Anybody in there? Well, now you know. You can at least put the pieces together a little bit. Or maybe not. You might think this is bullshit. It's okay, I don't care. It's just my interpretation. I don't care, meaning you can have your own interpretation. There's so many of them. But as a healer working with clients, and what I recognize between the two, the sleepwalkers and the ones who are awake, you can see it. And I could now literally go into more depth into talk to you about the energy and frequency of sleepwalkers compared to those that are awakening. We're never awake. We're only awakening. And we've got so much more to see. We see nothing really. But compared to those who are sleepwalking, we may feel that we see a lot more. But really, in truth, we only see a little bit more. That's all. But it's very frustrating when, we wonder why people are so gullible, wonder why people are so easily led. By the way, you can lead a sleepwalker anywhere you want. If you hold their hand and gently walk with them, you can if you're kind and caring and gentle with them, you can take a sleepwalker anywhere. I mean, there are exceptions. I know that for a fact. One of my best friends, nearly killed his girlfriend and his wife and his other girl in his sleep. He used to be a boxer, and all of a sudden he'd wake up sleepwalking and smash the walls. He had to sleep on his own at one point because he was just smashing the walls everywhere, and he's got a strong punch. And the walls are literally, it just smashed the walls. So yeah, there's a lot more to what I'm saying, and obviously you might be angry with me because, that doesn't make any sense because I know something different. Yeah, you do, and let's bring that in and let's discuss it and let's talk about it. Or, that's interesting, let me just bring that into my understanding and let's see if we can, hey, this might fit nicely. This actually, gosh, that makes sense. Now it's coming together. That's how conversation works. That's how I believe creativity and expanding and making the world a better place. People don't want to talk. Monsters don't want to talk. They just want to destroy. So I'm not saying sleepwalkers are monsters, by the way. No, they're a different entity completely. So I'm reluctant to say this now because I've had some idiots on here lately. When I come to Bali, I always get jealous people, always get angry people. Like, yeah, mate, you know what? I haven't been on holiday for years, and I bloody work like a dog. Shut. You know nothing, mate. Get yourself off. And the reason why, isn't it funny? The harder you work, the more you're successful. Yeah. You should take a leaf out of that book, pal, instead of, being jealous of everybody. Just get up and work and do something. I've had 50 jobs, maybe more. How many jobs have you had, pal? And 50 jobs because I didn't like it. And then I thought, I'm not working here. And then I realised I'm unemployable. So, I had to work for myself. Became a hairdresser, worked hard. Became a dancer, worked hard. Started opening shops. Did markets first of all. Second-hand markets with my brother. And then from there, I got a shop. And then another shop. And then an auction house, and then I had another auction house, then another shop, then 2 shops in a shopping centre. All the while doing a lot of beautiful work, helping people. So, shut up. Being jealous. Stop being an idiot. Get up off your ass and do some work instead of bitching on people. So, yeah, one of the things that I found fascinating, and there's about, I would say about 20 main crystals that help the frequency of people to awaken them up from their sleepwalking. Maybe what I might do in the coming future, or I don't know, see how I feel, is write a little bit of an article and then obviously talk about Mother Nature, and crystals are Mother Nature. That's why, one of the reasons why I say to help sleepwalkers, you've got to take them for a walk into Mother Nature, and you've got to sit them down, and you've just got to not talk about anything, and just let Mother Nature bring them back to the energy that they've lost. There's a reason why monsters have created cities. Cities are created because it's stealing Mother Nature energy. It's killing Mother Nature. It's killing your connection to Mother Nature. That's why it's concrete. You can't connect, which means you become a zombie, a sleepwalker. It's all there. It's just people just don't see it. They get pulled into it. As sleepwalkers. All right, well, maybe somebody might grab this info and then start putting it out there, and maybe the word sleepwalkers might then become something as a different understanding. Spiritual sleepwalkers. Yeah, I talked about this about 8 years ago. It never caught on there because people didn't really understand what I was saying, because it's only now that most people understand what I'm saying because it's so in your face. Whereas 8 years ago, it wasn't so much. 10 years, 12 years ago, it wasn't so much. There was only a few people talking about certain things that were happening, and like, can't you see it? Can't you, you know, what are you talking about? You bring it, telling me that it, what are you talking about? Autism, there's, what is that? Nobody even knows what that is. Oh yeah, autism, yeah. What do you mean? Oh yeah. Oh, everybody knows that. No, they don't. Nobody knows about that. Nobody knows what that is. Don't start saying it's something, because it isn't something, which means that somebody's up to something no good. Somebody's poisoning somebody, just like Carl de Klerk says. If all the animals in the zoo are sick, as soon as the vet comes in, he says, okay, what have you been feeding them? If they're all sick together. And if people are getting autism, there's a reason for it. So we were talking about this. We were talking about Illumina. We were talking about the poisons, the injections, and all the shit that they're pouring down from us. Not here today, by the way. That's what you call real skies. They're real clouds. Anyway, so that was back then. So we were talking, and many other things, guys. Many other things we were talking about, and people had no clue. So, to a degree, I think this, this understanding now of monsters, your Faucis and your Gates, and all, you understand now that there are monsters in this world, that they will stand in front of you and lie through their teeth, and they will have, like, what are you talking about? No, I didn't do that. No, I didn't mean that. And you're like, this guy really believes what he's saying. He's a monster. Monsters don't hurt. Monsters don't think they're hurting anything, because you aren't anything. You and I are an ant or a fly on a windscreen. You're nothing. So to them, when they speak, a monster speaks. But that's I'm doing the world a favor. I'm doing good. Look, there were loads of ants there, and they're causing. I need to kill them all. Like, all their ants are gone. Yeah, good lad. Well done, Fauci. Well done. You killed all the ants. They were they were a pain in the ass. They were running around, picking up food, just being a pain in the fucking ass on my table. So I kill them all. That's how he thinks. That's how he sees. That's why you don't see guilt, worry, fear, because that's how these monsters work. And plus the fact, when they've done that, they feel better. They've killed all of them ants. I'm talking about us. Kill them all. They feel better because it's a good energy for them. That's a perfect, strong, powerful energy that feeds them. See? So that's why when you scratch your head wondering, how come that person does that? I would never do that. And that's because you're not like them. And that's my theory about consciousness. We come from different places. We don't all come from God, the bodysuit, the earth, the Mother Nature. All of this wonderful thing was created. Sure, it was created. I mean, it has to be created, because everything that happens is like, it can't be simply, wow, that just happened. It can't be that way, because everything that happens, with every action comes a reaction. Everything that we are, we have. It's all here. That's not by mistakes. It's by design. Therefore, yes, there is a creator that created this, and I'm sure the universal creator, the source energy, created all of this. But what comes inside each tree, each plant, I mean, there's each insect. If there's understandings in this world when you start, looking at certain religions. For instance, let's talk about most of the religion here is Hindu. When you talk to Hindus, they have this understanding that we come here as insects. And from insects, we grow and grow. We experience the insect. Then we go to the bird, and then we go to the dog, and then we go to, and we keep growing through experience. That I kind of understand that to a degree. It kind of like, yeah, it kind of resonates a little bit. I kind of understand it. My feeling is free will, and I'm kind of hesitant to fully embrace that, because part of me would be, well, if I'm consciousness, I can choose to go in anything I want. So who says, oh, I've been a fly, I don't want to be a moth. I've been a dove, I don't, I've been I don't know, a butterfly, I don't want to be a caterpillar, or whatever it is. I think we come and go, and I think we choose whatever we want to be. And we might want to be a tree, we might want to be a flower. Everything has energy around it. It grows, it has life. That life is called life force. That life force is around you, it's around every creature. I'm not a big fan of karma. I think karma is used in religion for the wrong reasons. So I don't bring that into my workspace. I don't think about that, because I just don't think about these things, because too much suffering happens, and it's like saying, well, that's your karma. Nah, that just don't sit right with me. That doesn't sit right. And to hate on somebody else for what they've done, I don't like that neither. And a lot of hate comes with karma. You wait till you get your karma. Nah. You know what? I get on with my life. You do whatever you have to do, and that's it. And I hope that people, experience the world in a more friendly place. But I come to the point where I realise that we have no control over anything other than our own destination, and what little we know. And the change of our understanding, thoughts, our experience, our knowledge, it changes day to day. Everything changes. So what we think and believe today is going to be different next week, tomorrow, if we are fully embracing change. We expand every day. So when somebody says something, it's only what it is in that moment. It's not written in stone, in my opinion, at all. I think everything changes and moves and shifts, just like the universe breathes in and breathes out. Everything's moving, expanding, contracting, everything. So nothing is set in stone. Anything that is set in stone is rigid and seems to be like, okay, that's not relevant anymore. But then it can be relevant to one person. So when we try to find understanding of life, we're trying to find it thinking in a way of school system. And school system has done that to us. It's the biggest mistake we all made. It's the biggest mistake my dad made. It's the biggest mistake his dad made, and my mum. And it's the biggest mistake I made. Let my children go to school. Biggest mistake. Because we're in this prison now, which was created by the school system. And the school system does not want you to think out of either 1 + 1 = 2. All of it's bullshit. None of it. Every question is either a yes or a no answer, either right or wrong. No, it isn't. That's deliberately made so that you fit into the system. When you walk out, you're on that conveyor belt, and you're now part of the system. You're now part of the evil. You're now a slave. You're now doing what you're told. Oh, yes, I'm getting married. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, look, I've got children. Oh, look, I've got a beautiful job. Oh, we're going on holiday for 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. That was created that way deliberately by monsters. So the system and the schooling system is a monster schooling system. It brainwashes. It doesn't help you expand. It tells you to shut up, and this is right. So a schooling system is basically abuse, and we've all been abused. So ultimately, final message today is, don't blame, don't be upset with sleepwalkers. We were created that way, through injections, through poisons, through non-foods, through schooling system, through all of that is created an abuse in us, which then could very well be at some point that we just kind of like, okay, this is not who I am. This is not why I came here. And like any abuser, anybody who's been abused, there's some kind of mechanism that switches on. And that is what I mean by this. We are pure love coming together with a consciousness, our spirit consciousness, and this physical spacesuit. And as soon as we're injected, as soon as we're sent to school, as soon as we get abused by the schooling system, that consciousness just separates from the body. And now we are all trying to unlearn, we're all trying to heal, and some of us heal quicker than others. So that's it. That's my chat today. I'm wishing you all a lovely day. I really am. But don't get too upset. The reason why is because I realise that when you get too upset, you're actually feeding the very nature of what the beast wants you to feed. The monsters want you to react. The monsters want you to scream and shout. But I want to understand it. I want to understand abuse. I want to understand the monsters. And once you understand them, and you stand back and you see what the monsters do and why they do it, then now you know, and you want to understand why people aren't awake and why most of them are asleep. I'm trying to help you as well as me with some kind of understanding that then we don't project anger, rage, suffering. We can see and we allow, okay, we now know the process of why all of this happened. We now know what Mark talks about, sleepwalkers, spiritual sleepwalkers. Now we understand this. Well, okay, I get it now. Like, why did my dad abuse me? Why did my dad abuse me every day? Why did my dad abuse my brothers and sisters? Why did he do that? Okay, now I get it. He hated his life. He wanted to do something so much and he couldn't get what he wanted to do. He went into a war and he killed tons of people. He didn't want to do that. He just knew that he had to because he had to protect and blow people up. And so I understand why he became abusive. I can get it a little bit. I can say, okay, and it must have been awful. And then you learn to forgive, just like your family and your friends who don't understand you, don't understand what's going on. You can, hopefully what I've shared with you today, it gives you a little bit of understanding as well. So, I mean, this is just one tiny little aspect of a whole heap of bullshit that's happening constantly. An attack on humanity is constant. It's brutal, and they do it every way they can, and they've been doing it for years. So, be proud of yourself. Be proud that, it hasn't worked on you. Be proud that you're stronger than that, and that your connection to your consciousness, your whatever you want to call it, third eye, your intuition, your alpha, whatever it may be, just well done. That's it, really. I'm now going through the book. Why are you writing about flowers, Mark? Yeah. Because maybe one person might pick that book up one day, read it, and then they're out in Mother Nature with somebody who's sad and down, who doesn't want to be here anymore because they don't like the world that we live in, and we didn't sign up for this. We thought we were coming to experience life and love and healing and just being part of the existence of Mother Nature. And because of the pain and suffering, they don't want to be here anymore. And then that person who read the book just said, pick a flower. Have you seen a flower? Pick a flower. And then they read the flower to them. And it's moments like that can reawaken somebody and help somebody from not wanting to be here anymore. Because, for me, existence of life is one thing, but being creative, being kind and caring, sharing, helping people is really, for me, why I'm here. I enjoy lovely Mother Nature everywhere I am. I absolutely love the sea. I absolutely love rivers. I love everything about Mother Nature. So when I write about things, when I write about the magic in this world, which isn't thunderbolt and lightning strikes. It's just gentle little whispers that most people don't see because they're sleepwalking. It helps people, and it can reconnect them too. And it also can confirm and reaffirm to them that they're not the only ones. So everything that we do, every action, causes a reaction. So let's try and cause a positive reaction. That's really the bottom line, even in the face of the most darkest moments of our life, because we never know what's going to happen. The war is across the world right now, but it could be on our doorstep. How are we going to react to that? What about everybody else? Is anybody else going to say and do anything? Probably not, because they're all living their earthly life wherever they are. You know, what can we do when monsters are ruling the world? They are ruling the world, and that's why I said monsters see you and I like ants. So they don't care what we think. They don't care, and it's a general energy of darkness that runs through them all. They don't need to talk to each other. It's just who they are and where they come from. So we are in a spiritual battle, and we always have been. And thus, to awaken to that spiritual battle and understanding that is so profound, and to know that you are the answer, and cleaning your doorstep is an amazing thing. And if you happen to have some strength to clean next door's doorstep, then do it. Clean it. Help them see. All right, guys, I'm wishing you all a lovely day. I'm sending you all a massive hug. Yeah, I think that's it, really. Sending you all a big hug. And yeah, try and be creative. Just try and be creative. Do something and think of answers. Think of ways to move forward. Help spread truth, which is Mother Nature. Help spread Mother Nature's gift of healing, which that's the only thing there is. Herbs, fruits, vegetables, roots. Share valuable information of, learn about how to heal yourself through Mother Nature, and try to avoid everything that man has put its dirty hands on, which is called poison foods. Just try and stay away from it, and you'll see how much stronger you will feel and how much better you will feel. I've noticed the difference between myself now of 3 years to now is phenomenal. And just being here eating fresh fruit is phenomenal. It's just incredible, and the energy. And I eat nuts and seeds and yeah, it's incredible. It's really great. And embracing health, and instead of looking at a car as your pride and joy is the most important thing that you want in a year. Look at yourself, turn the car away, and look at your body and say, I want that body to be the shiniest car, the Ferrari, the Porsche, because the car is a car. If you're sick, you can't get in the car and drive it. If you're sick and poorly and getting sicker, then you're not going to enjoy the car ride. So work on yourself. Okay, guys. I love it. Long gone are the rave days. Hanging your washing out. All right, guys. Love you all. Take care.